The cost of attending a top-notch university is getting out of control. Today, we're going to go over all these people that went to college and cannot pay their student loans. And one of the reasons is that college has been going up so much. I've got here a list of colleges that are almost $100,000 a year to attend. Do you know how much you need to earn afterwards to make it to be worth it? So in this video, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the majors, the student loans, and if you should or should not go to college while these tuitions are so bloody high. So let's check out some of these highest costing colleges a year. So we got the numbers from 2023. Number one is Northwestern University, and this is a whopping $89,394 that you are paying to attend that college. Yes, there might be grants, there might be other incentive programs, and if you are low income or first time college, there might be different programs where you don't have to pay all this money to go, but this is just an average. And University of Chicago, 86,000. Columbia University, 86,000. University of Pennsylvania, 85,000. And you can see that this is just for 1 year. And depending on how many years you need to retake classes. Yale is up there with 85,000. The New School, 85. Harvey Mudd College, 84,000. Georgetown University, 84. And this is for 1 year, I mind you not. Now, I've put this into a graph, and it's year-over-year comparison of college tuition versus the starting salary, what you make, right? These are all averages. So if you went to Harvard and, you paid 85,000 a year, 500,000 in to get your degree, and you're starting off with a higher salary, you skew the thing upwards. And if you only went to a community college and you're making less at the beginning, so it kind of averages out. So here we see the starting salary of 2010, the college tuition was about 20,000 and the starting salary was 45,000. In 2016, it was right around 2016, the orange line is college tuition, and it was right around the 27,500, and your starting salary was slightly above 50. And now we're seeing that in 2023, we're seeing that the starting salary after a college is right around 60,000, and college tuition is almost at a $45,000 level. And you see how the college tuition takes a starker incline than the starting salary. So starting salary is way more linear, and this one is way more exponential, right? So this is absolutely crazy. So let's look at a reaction video of somebody talking about their college tuition and their experience.
Taking out student loans was the single-handedly worst mistake I've ever made in my entire life. At this point, a college education is pointless. It was pointless. There's no hope. I've been paying on my student loans for more than 13 years now, and I've more than paid back the amount that I took out, and then some because of interest. And there's all this misinformation and false hope around forgiveness and qualifying payments and I checked the boxes for 90% of the qualifying factors, but I'm gonna have to pay on my loans for another 5 years minimum, and that's if there's even any type of program around that time for forgiveness before I can even qualify, even though I meet the qualifications now. But because I don't check that one last box, there's nothing that can be done. Nothing has made me feel more hopeless and just helpless and just at full defeat than these student loans.
Okay, so this person, super traumatic, super sad that she got promised these forgiveness, these repayment plans, all these things that, like, hey, you're an income-based repayment plan, you're doing all these great things, for the community. You're a school teacher, you've put your life on hold so you can get these paid off. And then there's one thing at the end of the road where then they're like, nope, it ain't happening. Sorry, you did not pass this checkbox over here where you needed to submit something. So out of technicalities, we cannot forgive your student loans, and sorry. So, one thing that I've noticed with all these student loan people is that their student loans accrues interest, right? With any loan does. But as we talk about, hey, if you put your money into a savings account and that will over time accrue compound interest, so do your student loans. And that's what they're hoping on. So when you are taking out a college loan and you are making minimum payments or you're on a repayment plan and income-based payment plan and it starts to just take off and you're making these minimum payments, but your amount is keep rising, is because that interest that's accruing is accruing more interest and it is accruing compound interest in the bank's favor. And now the question is, how do you get ahead? Are you going to pay it off? Or are you just going to stick with it and just keep that going and trying to forego it at the end of the terms and hopefully it's not going to ding you too bad. One huge negative effect is that this will be considered this is considered debt to your name. So once you want to go buy a house, once you want to go lend money for something, they will see that as debt to your name. And I don't know how this works in the mortgage industry that well because neither me or Allison have really student loans, but there's probably some sort of factor that these are going to be factored into you actually buying a house. So it will actually put you in a disadvantage of buying a house. So let's look at another one.
These student loans, like the calls, are really making me regret ever going to college, considering I'm not even doing anything in my degree. But like these calls are just a reminder that I'm like, first of all, doing nothing with my life. Second of all, broke as shit. And yes, I hee hee ha ha about it here, but like it's literally not a joke. It's like embarrassing and it's like the most stressful thing. And I never want to be the person that's like, driven by money. Like that's not me, but like sometimes I wish I was so I wouldn't be in the position I'm in. And like dealing with these calls and having to basically say my situation, like I literally cannot pay off an amount on these damn student loans. And then the fact that they're so relentless, they call every person in my family, they call people not related to me, but like associated with me. And I don't even know how it's just crazy. And it's like, I hate it. It's like you're coming at me for my own little debt when this country's in debt. Like, it's so frustrating and it gets me so angry. And literally, it's like, I avoid these calls at all times. They send me into full on panic attacks. But then sometimes I just have to make the call because they're calling everyone else in my life. And it's so frustrating. And yes, maybe I did it to myself. Maybe I should be smarter about money. Maybe I should just take on any job that like will pay me, and I'm luckily finally starting a job, but it's not what I want to be doing, not using my degree. It's another serving job. It's fucking working at Hooters at 28 years old, living back at home. It's like, and then it's moments like these that make me question whether anything I want to do in life is going to happen, like at this stage, because it's so annoying.
Where do we even start with this one? First of all, the government has people working for it. The government has us. And to get ahead of that, it can either print money and cross inflation, or it can tax us to no ends and make up for the debt. You have nobody working for you. I am sorry, it is not very nice, but this is just you are not the government. So, second of all, I've seen so many people in I've seen so many people online talking about the same thing. I'm not using my degree. I can't get a hold of my field, and I'm back at a restaurant job. I saw another creator that was actually like, I have an MBA and I'm working at Starbucks because the job market's so tough and I can't do it. And absolutely cannot pay my bills at Starbucks. And I was like, oh my gosh. you need to come up with a plan on how you can get into your field. Whatever you got your MBA in, you should find your way in and start earning your money in that field. You can probably even climb the career ladder at Starbucks and start applying to roles at Starbucks with your MBA and doing stuff like that. And you can probably do the same thing at Hooters. You just need to be willing to relocate for a job and say, "Hey, I'm willing to do this and I need a better paying job." So you jump around, you job hop to a different city with Hooters. They probably have all these job openings. So let's actually check online to see if Hooters corporate jobs. There must be corporate jobs at Hooters that are somewhere in the United States at Hooter headquarters. Corporate staff, here we go. Hooters corporate staff is in. Okay, so I've seen all these corporate staff at Hooters, Texas, Hooters, Florida, and they're paying in New York, they're paying between $50 to $100,000. Okay, so if you are at Hooters, you have corporate opportunities. You can actually climb the ladder, and I've just found online, I found jobs at Hooters paying $50 to $100,000. And corporate staff, you can then climb the ladder, and you just need to be strategic with your move, and you try to get an entry level position and then work your way up and then work there for a year and start applying. You can do that even with AutoZone. You can do that with any kind of fast food industry because they're always looking to hire talent. You just need to be willing to move. And now let's look at some of the degrees that are actually not paying. So this is from Google. This is not my personal thing. This is from Google. And we're going to look at some of these degrees that are actually not paying and probably aren't worth you actually going into huge amount of debt for. Theology, according to CNBC, theology is one of the lowest paying college majors. So one thing that I'm keep telling you guys is you need to see what is going to be paying your bills. If you want to get a degree in it, it should not cost you more the full term of getting your degree than 1 year worth of salary. So if theology pays you $30,000 a year, you should not go into debt more than $20,000 to get that because it's going to be hard for you to get a job and it's hard for you to going to be making the payments. So psychology, that is my degree, is one of the lowest paying degrees out there. Yup, liberal arts, fine arts, cultural arts, music, religious studies, alternative and complementary medicine, teaching, dance, drama, and cosmetology. These are all industries that aren't paying that well. So you gotta be super alert on and actually do research about what is paying in that field. And you might be able to find your way how to you can actually pay that back and kind of come up with a creative way on how you can climb the corporate ladder and make a career out of your profession. That is, I think, the biggest key takeaway to make a career out of your first server job, out of your first job at AutoZone. You can make a career out of it. You just need to know how and need to be willing to put in the time, to put in the work, and to move. I know a good friend of mine that actually moved for his job multiple times to keep bumping up in salary every few years, moving. And it sucks because you have to move your family, you have to find new friends, but that is just what it's going to take in the United States for you to kind of get a start and start progressing. Even I moved, so if I can do it, you guys can. Let me know what you guys think. So, if you want to go to college and are actually thinking about it and think, oh my gosh, that is really valuable, and you do not want to spend a lot of money going towards college or going towards tuition and you got to take out loans, there are companies out there that would actually sponsor your college. So let's go through some of them. Starbucks offers 100% tuition coverage for eligible employees through Arizona State University online program. And I think when I last looked into this, it was like you need to work at Starbucks every week for 20 hours, and then they'll pay for your college, and you can pick from whatever you kind of want. So this is a real great thing to get your foot into the door with a bachelor's degree without spending a lot of your own money, and then you can take your master's somewhere else. But you got basically a bachelor at almost no cost, and you made money while you were actually working at Starbucks, gained customer service, experience and all that other good stuff. But this is not all. You can work at Amazon offers up to $5,250 per tuition assistance for eligible employees. Walmart offers $1 a day towards college tuition for eligible employees with a lifetime maximum of $7,500. Target offers up to $5,250 per year in tuition assistance for eligible employee. Chipotle offers up to $5,200 per year in tuition assistance for eligible employees. And you got to read these programs that they have very carefully and then kind of depend where you want to work on what program you kind of want to pursue, because there's like small little fine print that you got to read. And so if you want to go towards Amazon, it's more focused on what does it say down here? So Amazon is focused primarily on high-end, high-demand fields like IT, healthcare, transportation, and skilled trades. So that's what they're kind of paying for. So you got to do your own research and figure out where do you really want to go. And this is key while stepping into the professional world and start becoming a tradesperson or becoming a highly skilled developer with a college degree. Then you just got to go out and start pursuing and reading all these levels of. So no, then you actually got to go in and actually read all these requirements and what they offer. And some of them are more upfront than others, but I think they're all pretty upfront and give you all these programs available to you when you start. And I would only go work in one of these places if they offered you something like this, because what you're going to do is you're going to work there for 2-3 years, and then once you have your bachelor's, you then transfer, you go to another college, and you take your bachelor's, and then you work on something else. And that is how you can really, really accelerate your college, and this is how you can really, really accelerate how you're going to get ahead in life, because you have no college student loans, and then you can pursue your master's somewhere. And once you get that bachelor, you get an entry-level position with a bachelor, you can then ask your current employer, hey, I really want to do a master's degree. Are you also willing to pay towards that? And most of them will say, yeah, we have some sort of program that will allow you to take a master's program and we'll offer this much money towards that. And then you can work there and they'll pay for that one. And then if you leave that job and want to work at another company, they also might have something called a tuition reimbursement, because they might say, hey, you need a master's or whatnot, and then you can actually make that money back. So it's really, really important that you read and know the available tools out there so you do not end up in heavy, heavy student loan debt like these people and are having to move back with their parents because they cannot gain traction in the workforce. So I know this is kind of like a smaller video where I just talk about it for 18-20 minutes, because there's just no way that I could put all this information into an 18-20 minute video. So do your own research, ask questions in the comment section about this. There's so many people in my community that watch my stuff that actually have been through it, and they would probably help you out and explain how they went through it. There's some really, really good stuff, and it was a pleasure to have you watch my video, and like and subscribe. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one.